Hey guys, what's going on? All right, I'm back with a new video here. Things are still kind of crazy. It's still really hard to make any videos. So I just wanted to get something out while I had a quick moment. So recently there's been some news. Jamie Lee Curtis back on July the 13th tweeted a little pumpkin jack-o'-lantern and then 7/20. So obviously it means the Halloween Ends trailer is about to drop on July 20th. So that is coming very soon. Everybody's pretty excited for it. I certainly am. I know that spoilers and whatnot can be a huge pain in the ass, as they were for Halloween Kills. I ended up getting it spoiled about a year ago before I saw it, so I sort of knew who was going to die and who was going to live. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen this time. However, I am not one of the people that are afraid to watch the trailer. I know sometimes they show too much, and it tends to it can show you, more than I guess you want to see, or some people want to see. I certainly don't mind it, though. I am okay with seeing a studio trailer. I don't really avoid them too much. So I will definitely be checking it out. I will definitely be looking at it on the 20th and probably giving my thoughts as well, if again I get a moment to do that on my borrowed phone here. Anyway, it is coming. I know a lot of people have been talking about rumors that it's not going to be so great, or I don't want to address specific details just in case something's right or not, but I recently watched a video that Jimmy Champagne put out. Now, a lot of you probably know Jimmy Champagne. He's got a pretty big channel. He's one of the guys I've been going to for years for information, and he's always been very reliable, and he's got a great channel. So if you haven't checked him out already, definitely do it. He provides all sorts of great updates and news, and he recently was speaking about the test screening reactions, because there was a test screening that happened, and I guess there are 2 versions of Halloween Ends that are out. Now, he's been saying that one has people fairly divisive and maybe not too happy about it. It's kind of a mixed bag and people are worried. But he said the other screening that they did was really well received and people were cheering, and that it went over really, really well. So I would imagine that's probably the version they're going to end up going with if that's the kind of reaction they got. So I guess we'll see what happens. But all I'm saying is, in the meantime, nobody should panic yet thinking it's going to be terrible or something, because, there were some reshoots, of course, that happened, just a few weeks back through the Calgary Horror Con. I had mentioned that, unfortunately, James Jude Courtney couldn't make it because of these reshoots. So there's definitely a couple versions of Ends that they've showed, and no reason to get panicked yet on how well it's going to be received. So I just wanted to throw that in there, that the trailer's coming on the 20th. Today, when I'm recording this, it is the 16th, so 4 more days to go. I don't know how soon I'm going to be able to get this video uploaded, probably a couple days before, but anyway, just wanted to address that it is coming. I'm very excited for it, looking forward to checking it out. So don't miss that if you haven't heard. It'll be on July 20th, so be sure to check that out. All right, so moving on. I have gotten a lot of packages over the last while that I have to go through that I wanted to show you guys. But there's one in particular that I wanted to address that I haven't got a chance to, and it is a package that I received from Legion Safety. So you remember Legion were the company that sort of put together the Halloween 2018 Kills, and I guess Ends, because it sounds like he's going to have the same mask and outfit as well, at least in part of the film anyway. So they redid or they tried to reproduce or find a way to reproduce the Workrite coveralls that Michael Myers uses in these films, because they have been discontinued. So they got together with Chicago Protective Apparel, and they put together some coveralls that are supposed to match the Workrites quite closely, and they were nice enough to send me a copy of their version 2. So I was going to take those out now and take a look at them and compare them with a stock copy of Workrites that I have actually down here. I've had these for a few years, and as you can see, they're still folded. I've never actually even opened these up all the way. These are legit Workrites right here, and they are the charcoal gray. They are the right model number, or whatever, serial number, whatever you want to call it, 131UT95CG for charcoal gray. But Chicago Protective Apparel and Legion Safety, they got together to do these coveralls to provide to all these, you know, Michael Myers cosplayers and people that are trying to put together the costumes and stuff for something that's going to look really accurate when they can't get their hands on these anymore. So this is a pair I have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the ones that I got from Legion here. I haven't really taken these out yet either, but already right off the bat, they look very, very similar. They are right here. As you can see, the color is pretty much spot on. And the fabric actually feels very close as well too. So what I'll do, sorry, I got a cat crawling in a box over here. As soon as you get an empty box, it's a cat trap. Anyway, so what I'll do is I'll display these a little bit closer so you can get a look, and we will see how accurate they actually are. Because so far so good, just looking at them like this. The fabric does look very, very similar, feels very similar, and the color is great. The stitching looks good too. Definitely looks more fresh on the version 2 replicas than it does on these. These look a little more, I don't know how you want to put it, but like the stitching on the collar, you can see here on the Workrites, it's a little more rounded, the way the corners and edges are tucked, and here it's a little bit more flush, like it's a little more of a perfect square on the version 2s. That's just what I'm seeing off the bat here, but I definitely want to take a closer look at these. So I'll hang them up and we'll take a closer look with the camera just to see how similar they look. All right, so here's a little look. We have the original Workrite coveralls on the left, and we have the replicas on the right. Now at first look, you can see here that the color is pretty much on. Now I have quite a bit of light coming from the left-hand side, which is why the color looks a little different, just because of the way it's hitting on the Workrites over here, but I can assure you, in person, the colors look very, very similar. You may also note that the charcoal gray looks very much like navy blue here as well. A lot of people think they are navy blue in the film. They are actually charcoal gray, but in many shots they look navy. But we have definitely been able to figure out that they are charcoal gray. But looking at the two of these, you can see how similar they are. So the replica pockets, looking pretty good. The shape is nice on them. If you look at the Workrites, they are very similar. Bit of a point here, right? And then here, same kind of deal. It's got the little spot for the pen or pencil or whatever. And of course, it's just missing the Workrite badging. The ultra soft badging here, I don't think it has either, does it? No. But it is Westex ultra soft, flame resistant, very much like these. Same thing. So just a look at the front. Everything looks pretty darn good. The weight of the fabric is very similar. I'm sure it's 9.5 ounce as well. Collar looks good. Very nice. Yeah, you see what I mean about the stitching. The stitching here is a little bit closer to the edge, and it's almost like a perfect corner, the way they do that. Very nice. Whereas the Workrites, it's a little bit further from the edge, and the corners are a little bit more rounded. You know what I mean? They're a little smoother. They're not quite as straight of a cut. But I mean, it is really hard to tell the difference. These are very nice looking coveralls. Seeing them in person makes a big difference. Now, the originals that I have on the left are a size 50 long. The ones on the right, the version 2s, are a 48 long, which is more my size. Like my 2018s that I did, my Workrites I had are actually a 48 long, and my kills are actually a 46 long, because 46 is probably my perfect size. It just fits me the best. 48 fits okay, it's just a teeny bit long, and the 50 is a little big on me, which is another reason why I haven't used these yet, but I hung on to them because I knew they were getting discontinued, and I thought I'd better pick up another pair just in case, and that's why I have those on the left. But this is the first time I've unfolded either of these pair. So this is the first look anybody's really had at them. But they are really nice. You are going to miss the little badging like this on here, of course, on the replicas, which is fine because you need to take all those off anyway to achieve the right look. I had to use a seam ripper to take this out, and of course this, and of course the one on the wrist like I just showed you. So yeah, they are really, really nice. So I am super impressed. So if you're looking to get a pair of these, definitely contact Legion. I'll put their information, of course, in the description of the video, so you can contact them if need be and you're looking to get a pair of these yourselves. But I think they've done a fantastic job. It really, really looks nice. Like, all the details are pretty spot on. The waist is good too. I noticed there's quite a bit of elasticity in there, just like the originals. Same kind of thing. So let's flip these over and take a look at the back as well. Okay, so I flipped them over. Here's a look at the back. Again, it looks a little different on the left just because I have more light coming from that side off the Workrite, but they are absolutely the same color. So again, you can see there is another patch here for Workrite that it would have to come off. And of course the replicas don't have it because they aren't Workrite. Simple as that. So again, looking at the original Workrites, you have the fairly tight elastic waist. Now, a lot of people take that out a little bit to loosen it up and make it look a little better. That's what I had to do with mine to make it look a little more worn, because if it's too tight it looks a little bizarre. But you don't want to take away all of the elasticity, because he definitely has that in the film as well, where you can see it pull in a little bit as well. So you don't want to get rid of it all. But the replicas are basically the same in here. They have a lot of elasticity in there all across, and in here it's mostly tighter in here and here, whereas on the Workrites you can see from here to here it's like a longer stretch of really tight elastic and really tight elastic. Here it's a little smoother, whereas on the replicas it's really tight on the edges, and in the middle it's quite loose. So a little bit different there, nothing major, very, very close. Now, another one of the issues was the pockets. So if you look at the original pockets here, where this one lines up with the bottom of the pocket on the Workrite, you can see here it comes almost to a point where it meets. And they were having a little bit of trouble with that originally on the version 1s they did, but they did rectify it quite well. Again, it's not an absolutely perfect replica, but they did a pretty darn good job. So if you see here, this pocket is pretty much bang on the way the other one is. You can see it's got that the little point in the middle, much like the original here. And then again here, just take another quick look. Remember how tight that is, okay, with the bottom of the pocket. Here's where it's a little bit different here on this one. So you can see here, it's a little wider. It doesn't come all the way up to the point, kind of like this one does here, as you can see. So that is one of the ways to tell when you're dealing with the replica versus the original. But I mean, look at how minor that is. It's so minor you wouldn't even notice. Like, for a replica, they've done a damn good job with these. I'm definitely very pleased with what they've done here. The shoulders look good and everything as well. The way the back flares out here, there's a little gap, just like that, just like on the originals here. There is a gap, it stops right up here like this, exact same way with the stitch. The collar height is very similar. It looks just about the same. about yay, right? Yeah, pretty close. And just as a tip too, if you're storing your coveralls, make sure to pop that collar. A lot of people don't do that. And I didn't when I first had these sitting out here. As you can see, I'll just flip this around again. See, you shouldn't really have it popped like that. If you're going for the Myers look, like I store all my other ones like that. You can see that these ones back here, I got my Kills and my 2018 and everything is here, and my 1978s. They all have the collars popped. A lot of people will, you know, store them with it down, and I don't really know why, because it should be popped in order to keep the look. And if you keep it up like that, it's likely to stay up, and it's going to do a much better job getting the look you're going for. But yeah, I think they've done a fantastic job with the version 2s. Couldn't be happier, and I'm very grateful that they sent me a pair. That was super awesome of them to do that. I think it was just a kind gesture they did, because I covered them quite a bit, let a lot of fans know about them, and which I'll continue to do because I'm a huge Michael Myers cosplay fan, and I know how hard it is to find the Workrites nowadays. These are pretty much gonzo. It's very hard to find these in a size you need because, like I said, they are discontinued. But thanks to Legion Safety and Chicago Protective Apparel, we have an option, and it is a damn good one. Like, they look very, very good. Same buttons here, as you can see too. The buttons are a little bit bigger on the replicas. The originals, as you can see here, are a little smaller, if you look at my thumb in comparison. And then here, same kind of thing. It's a little bigger, you see. So there are subtle differences like that. YKK zipper, I'm sure it's the same, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's a YKK. So same kind of deal there as well. Buttons are just a little bit different, but it is a very, very fine option if that's what you were looking for. And you can get these in any size you need pretty much from them, so they can hook you up. And yeah, I'm just grateful we have an option for cosplayers that can't get their hands on Workrites anymore because they are so rare. So once again, yeah, I just want to thank Chicago Protective Apparel and of course Legion Safety for quarterbacking this and getting it out there for everybody, because they've done a fantastic job. All right guys, so there you have it. That is the version 2 that's offered by Legion Safety through Chicago Protective Apparel. They're the ones that put these together. And they are a replica of the Workrites here, and I think they did an awesome job. So if you're having trouble finding Workrites for your, shall we say, modern Michael Myers, 2018 and up, for the 2018 film or Halloween Kills that we know he wore these coveralls in charcoal gray. If you can't find them, you definitely have alternatives. This is a solid option. They look very, very good. They're very close. So if that's what you're looking for, you have options now. So be sure to check them out. I will put a link in the description as well so you can find them. And in the meantime, I guess we will wait to check out that new trailer coming out on the 20th of July. And I guess we'll get a reaction to it and see how it goes. Anyway, thanks so much for watching again, guys, and we'll see you again for the next one. Take care.